Hello, I'm Geoff Crenshaw, and you're listening to Heavy Set Go.
Go.
Yeah, our returning guest, the second returning guest in history, is Montetré.
Hi.
And he has, this is the first time, it's the first time I've had a guest that I haven't previously met.
And the first time you've gotten video footage of your podcast, which you didn't want.
Oh, that's terrifying. They're gonna see all the ridiculous things I do with my hands. But your name is Baraka Noel, and you're actually not a Portlandian. You're here on a tour.
I don't know, man. I mean, I was here for like a year.
Oh, so
and I talk about white supremacy a lot on stage. How'd it go?
it was good. It was funny. I liked how you could be so. Say just for an example, do your delivery.
Well, my opener usually is Now I'll do a joke I didn't already do on this stage. I recently realized I should stop calling my brother a motherfucker.
That's great.
Thank you.
One of my favorite. Have you seen History of the World Part 1?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh my God, one of my favorite scenes.
I've been waiting for the sequel my entire life, actually.
Man, I just want to see the full Hitler on Ice sequence. One of my favorite scenes in that movie is Oedipus is holding a sign and he's blind and everything, and he's screaming, "Give to Oedipus! Give to Oedipus!" And I think it's Cleveland Little. He walks up to him and he gives him a high five. How you doing, motherfucker?
I love that film, and it's the basis of my understanding of world history, actually, too. So.
Really? Mel Brooks beats a college history class any day. And that's not sarcastic. That's absolutely serious.
Dude, I think drunk history is the best education tool that we have in America.
Oh, absolutely. Part of it is Part of it, I think, is hearing it initially, and then you want to just see how much they got right or wrong.
Well, one of my new favorite things is Stuff You Missed in History Class podcast. It's like two white ladies that just tell you about the murders that happened 100 years ago. It's awesome.
It's I don't think I've heard of that. Is it stuff they just make up, or is it actual history?
No, it's really well-researched history about things like Bayard Rustin or Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, or just like all kinds of stuff. Desmond Doss, who I don't know if anyone saw Hacksaw Ridge. I fucking just wept next to my mother, and my grandmother just wept and wept.
Oh, that was an awesome movie.
And I was really pissed because now I have to blow Mel Gibson, and I didn't really want to do that.
So you were saying Mel Gibson is basically a guilty pleasure, because every one of his movies that he directs, they're always so good.
Oh, yeah.
However, he's an anti-Semite.
I haven't seen all of them. Are they all? Do we agree with? Do you agree?
Yeah. The ones he directs, anyways, they're really pretty darn good.
Did he direct? He didn't do Braveheart though.
He directed that.
Because he was the first one
didn't like
to
Braveheart?
jizz blood on the camera screen. No one ever did,
Really?
right?
Well, you mean
I
the
never
gut,
saw
the
that
gut
happen.
scene where the little tiny...
Where it flashes on the lens, and actually you see the blood drip down the lens. I'd never.
Was that an intentional thing he did, or was that something that happened? And
Well,
they
I'm
just
sure,
keep
it happened and he kept it, yeah.
That's. I think a lot of movies do that now, so it was influential.
I mean, that's how we shoot. That's how we're gonna shoot after this. Anybody want to play a gangster later? If you're over 30, let's talk. All right, cool.
Sort of an improv-y film sort of thing. If anybody is interested, he's serious.
Yeah, Montetré plays a homosexual. He's very comfortable because everyone's equal.
Yeah. Is that what I played? Cool. Well, I'll have to wear a better tie.
It's a love scene. Did I not tell you the scene?
I won't have to wear a tie at all. It'll be good. I'll just tie it on my head.
Just over the eyes.
So what have you been up to, Montetré? You've got some productions going on now? You just wrapped up The Room?
Yeah.
Which I saw was incredible.
Yeah, any interesting film projects you've been working on?
Yeah, there was just Baraka and I, we've been filming a lot of his stand-up recently and just going around and doing a lot of improv-y stuff with just different comedians.
It's not all about me. Tongo Eisen Martin, a wonderful poet,
very
flew
good.
up. He was flown up by my lover Mary, who got sick of me after. Doesn't talk to me now, maybe.
Oh.
But he was in town. He did a bunch of shows with us. It was beautiful. Recorded something right over there that I don't know if you guys heard the Jazzercise 12 hours ago. You probably didn't, but it was an obstacle, and then we worked through it. I was really proud.
Awesome. Is this part of a documentary on him, or?
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, you're just getting
It's like
footage?
the blood on the lens,
I got you. You're just deciding what's going to come of it later.
I think so.
We're taking the good footage and we're just gonna slap it online.
We're gonna make him look.
That's what we got so far. I've already got a cut done. I just got to post it.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Marty in Transit is a film we shot last year. It was a one-shot movie. We did it all in one take.
How long is it?
90 minutes.
How do you do that?
Oh, it was 6 months of rehearsal, and
But you did it for real, not fake like the Birdman.
which is a beautiful movie.
How many takes?
One take.
Really?
Although we
So you're
did
saying
try-
it's better than Birdman?
We tried it 3 months prior, and right when we were starting, he was in the film. Right when we were starting, we got in a wreck, and bam, somebody like exits into us, and we're like, well, shit. And so I just changed it all from West Portland to East Portland, and we're just about done with the sound design of it. We recorded
Wait, hold on. You
14
got-
microphones the day of.
You were
It's just-
shooting? You got a wreck?
Yeah, well, we were about to start shooting. It
Okay.
was like we were pulling up at the first location, and yeah, so 3 months later we reshot it, and on the East Side. And the East Side was really cool because I was able to use 80
What did you
seconds
do
a
that
lot.
day when everything went to fuck? What was your like next step?
I slowly tried to pull it together, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's do a photo shoot. Everyone's here."
Smoked a cigarette.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And you,
Probably a lot of cigarettes. We had done a thing in a coffee shop, and we were doing makeup in there, and I gave everybody like a $20 per diem for the day. I'm like, get whatever you want from this spot. I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna be over here at this table, just doing some makeup occasionally. Let us know when you're from your way. We're just gonna keep buying your shit. And then about 4 hours later, the owner apparently shows up, and he's like, what are you doing in my store? Who do you think you are? I want to talk. Who is in charge?
You have the wrong name to answer that question.
Yeah. And
too.
I'm like, well, that's me. I mean, we've been buying. You get out and never come back. And like the makeup artist was like, I've never been so ashamed in my life. And I'm like,
You got exiled by a Russian.
I was exiled by a Russian Northwest Portlander business owner. And that wouldn't happen on the East Side, and that's what I figured out.
have you gone back?
No, I've stopped by and I've been like, fuck that place. Oh, I'd love to throw a rock through that window.
Yelp it, just
Yeah.
to get your revenge on Yelp.
Oh no, I only did that once. I got a lot of likes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, more details, please.
Well, I was getting this burrito at this little food cart, and I watched him make it, and the kid was like wiping his nose and like touching the cash register, and like they took a tortilla and it dragged across the thing, and I'm like, okay, fine, well that's just
He wiped his ass with
cool.
salad.
And then like I got the food, and I watched them like microwave the rice, and I got the food, and I took a bite, and I'm like, this is fucking old meat, And so I brought it back. Hey man, like he's like, no, you get what you pay for, and I'm like, hey, what? Like this is. And so I like threw the burrito at his cart, and I go, well, you get to clean it up now,
Holy shit.
And then I left, and I wrote a very nice review.
So when I moved to Portland, I
I'm
told
looking
myself
for
I
this
wouldn't
review.
leave until I burned every bridge.
What's that?
Got a lot of work cut out for you.
Actually, I had to leave.
Huh?
What I'm saying is we're both really good at maintaining relationships.
Ah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I try not to do stuff like that, of course, but the guy was just so.
You got a little temper on you, though.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
I
you
can.
know,
I
too
can.
deep a little bit.
That's why I like to keep it on the stage. Yeah.
Did anything go wrong during the actual filming of Marty in Transit that you just had to ignore? But
In the one that we kept.
Yes.
There was stuff that happened that, okay, for instance, like really cool stuff, like an ambulance would go by right after a scene that we just got out of a building. We're back in the car and we're driving, and then whomp, 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 and I just like yell something because I was the lead actor in it. So I wouldn't have trusted anybody else to drive the car and all of that. It was dangerous.
Is this some real time shit that you're doing?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I guess I know where they're headed, and it's just kept in the film, it's just, it fits. There was a time when we thought it was taking forever to get the fast food, because there's a scene where we get fast food, and we're like, oh fuck, this is taking longer than we thought, and it was just actually in 30 more seconds. But we got some really cool improv because of that happened. It was just, fun stuff.
I don't know how you just didn't go crazy and break down in the middle of it.
Well, because when we did rehearsals, like besides doing it like all in at a place like this, you just like again and again and again, you end up getting into the car, and you do we did 1/3 of the film one night, the other third of the film the other night, the other third of the film the next night. Necessarily
So
in
3
order,
takes.
but no, this is rehearsal.
Oh, okay.
I
rehearsal.
don't think Montetré breaks down. I think he just gets sanctimonious.
Is that true?
Yeah, perhaps, yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm not like a glass half full guy. I'm just like, I'm happy to have water there, and I was thrilled just because we were doing it, and in itself is life, and you're capturing life, and so anything that did happen that was sort of out of the ordinary, like she was supposed to throw the papers up. Fuck it, whatever. It still looks beautiful, and nobody's missing that, only me, and I'm gonna forget about it one day anyway.
Dude, man, I heard about Dogma 95, and I don't really know much about it, but when I heard about it, it was like, that seems like the shit. What happened actually, you put it in the thing, and that's it.
Like giving birth to a baby on a bus and
Yeah.
in front of like real people, and nobody really. It's not really a birth of a baby, but they're acting like that it is, you know.
Actually, I really want to do
That was a
some
good
world
one.
style
Julian
like
Donkey Boy. I think that was.
improv type shit. You know what I mean? Where it's just you just like stage breakups in public and just have people captured on phones and shit. I really want to do that.
Yeah. No, that's easy. I mean, nowadays.
We could do it later.
Yeah, you could. You just might have to like ask people later on, like, can I have your signature
Yeah, I mean, are you
on
are
this
you
card?
tired? Do you want to break up later?
It reminds me of what you just said. Reminds me of that one. This one show is called "What Would You Do?" It's like
Mark
a cam-
Summers? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, they set up cameras, and I'm not sure if this was from that show, but they did kind of a social experiment where I don't really have a point with this, but I thought it was interesting. They had a social.
Don't admit that.
I have a point, but I'm not telling you. They did a social experiment where I think the first thing they did was they filmed way off the distance so people wouldn't see. They filmed a girlfriend beating up her boyfriend, and people are walking by and they're kind of laughing at, oh, what a pussy. And then about half an hour later, after like all the crowds had changed, and like other people were there, they reversed the roles, and they had this boyfriend just screaming at his girlfriend and like slapping at her, and everyone was like, "Hey there, young man, what do you think you're doing? This is not appropriate." But the reaction to one was different than the other, and I thought that was interesting. What are your thoughts?
I thought you were talking about the kid show, What Would You Do, for the longest time with Mark Summers. So I was trying to put all that into perspective. Like, they didn't
Had
do
this
that.
pedophile beating up a kid.
Yeah, like that was a kid show where they threw pie in your face. That was deep.
Well, I've seen that happen.
They do those things though, where they like that people will respond back and they get I know what you're talking about now.
I've seen it happen where a man is just berating a woman on the street, and it is a weird question. Like trying to intervene in domestic violence is like very complex. I think that witnessing is like the best thing to do. Like with a police interaction, just like standing close enough that it's like we see you. And I've actually seen it happen where there's a homeless couple, and the man is just like, the woman's on the ground, and he's just like going up, and then like, you know, everyone's ignoring it because it's like they're homeless, so they don't count or whatever. So then I just like moved up and stood close, and then I like empowered someone else, and then it became like a crowd of people, and then someone like speaks up. It's like, stop doing that, and then like separates them. But you know, within 45 minutes they were back together doing the same shit on a different block.
Oh, it's frightening to see. One time I was at a coffee house in Beaverton. I was with a few of my friends. This table next to us, there was this guy with a Russian accent, interestingly enough.
Do we get the accent or no?
I'm not very good at accents. He just starts screaming at this woman, and she's all shrinking, and it's awkward, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I should step in or do something. While he was screaming at her, I decided, well, if he hits her, I'll intervene and stop
Yeah, you want
that.
to get there before, ideally.
Well, ideally, but
If he hits her 4 times, that's it. That's the line.
well, no. If I thought he was going to, because when I was watching,
Just because I'm being facetious, but I've been there in the moment where just a second later, it's like, oh, I had the impulse to intervene, and now this guy just like touched someone I cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a weird line.
it's a very difficult rope to walk.
It is.
If you can fall off if you make the wrong move, and generally speaking, I'm the kind of person I prefer to mind my own business. If I see a fight where I don't think there's a threat, I'm like, oh, whatever. But if there is a possible threat, I kind of try to keep my eye on it. Luckily, I've never had to actually do anything, but this guy was
you're
just...
gonna have to in 2017. Shit is getting crazy.
Oh, maybe I'll put on my cape.
Yeah, dude.
Stop right there.
Do you have a cape on your finger?
That's a good idea. Da-da-da. So where do you get your material?
Wow, that was a non-sequitur.
Wow. Straight to the point.
What I do is I laugh sometimes in life, and then I like stop. I pause and go, huh, and then I might write some shit down. For me, I don't think most people are necessarily do it this way, but when I have an idea, I have to immediately funnel it into a channel. It's like, is this a sketch? Is this a film? is this something that'll help me get laid later? Like, which, is it a tweet? Which thing is it? Like, is it Facebook? Is it one of my 3 Twitter accounts? Like, which thing is most appropriate for no one to pay attention? No one sees my art, but I'm very careful about where I put it, though.
That's why you got to pick just one main channel and just do a certain sort of pattern on it.
Just focus on porn is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then if you focus on the porn, then people will notice that you're focusing on the porn.
You know, I'm gonna go do that right now.
What's the criteria where you decide whether an idea you have is fit for a comedy routine or a film or whatever other medium?
Well, about maybe a fourth of what I did in this set was stuff that I had specifically told myself I wouldn't do.
Really?
Yes. I was like, that's a horrible joke about rape culture. Don't tell that one. Second. Yeah.
It was great.
It was.
It was very, very funny.
Stop.
Yeah, it was a good figure in 2016.
So stuff
louder.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
You were excellent.
2016. Yeah.
No, actually, I did my whole set, and then I realized, oh, I know what my closer is now. Wish I could if I could turn back time.
What was your
I
least
managed this
favorite?
under
What was your
pressure.
least favorite celebrity death?
Who's your least favorite comic? No.
Death of 2016. Mine's Gene Wilder.
Wait, your least, like your
That's
the
your
most
least favorite
upsetting-
comment? For
No, like the person I wish I wish I'd gotten to hang out with them.
Oh, God.
No, he had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, no,
so
Gene
what-
Wilder's the most upsetting one for me too.
Yeah,
He's up there. It's hard to
I do love Prince, but it was.
It's hard to weigh.
Yeah, but Prince. I felt with Wilder that he could have he got Parkinson's or whatever, but I just was like, maybe one more, right? Maybe one more film, right? Like fucking Jay Fox can do it. Like maybe we'll get one more performance, you know?
He pretty much, from what I've read, he pretty much wrote off film and stuff along those lines. He's like, well, I just don't get anything good anymore, and he kind of went away. But he wrote books. Still, we could have gotten an interview or something. Just one more drop.
Well, it's the camera, man. Because fucking Robin, you know, when he felt like he couldn't get in front of the camera anymore, you know what I mean? It's like once you lose. I don't know. It happened to Richard. Richard talked about his transition into just not being able to control the basic elements that you're supposed to control in front of a fucking camera. You know what I mean? It's really.
It's later, prior, I assume you're talking about.
We should do like an audience poll.
Yeah, let's do an audience poll.
Involve the audience.
How many people are gonna walk out before we finish?
It's a pretty good one. Cool.
So who said that Gene Wilder died?
Anybody
One
got
guy.
the STD? Make some noise.
We're still in time, folks.
No, I have a thing where I love like the wrong crowd work. Like I have an opener where I'm like, make some noise if you got a big vagina. Yeah! Just like, make some noise if you got a felony. Make some noise if you're a pedophile.
The cameraman's making noise. He's laughing.
I like that. Make some noise if you're gonna bring me another PBR.
Maybe.
Close.
What kind of films do you make?
I make films wrong.
Wrong?
I make short films because I don't have a budget. You know, I don't think I could make a statement like I don't make like a certain kind of film because that's the kind of film I make. It's just kind of like very constraint based. I mean, why don't you talk about it? You've seen me fuck up a film, like you know, it's very constraint based filmmaking.
So has he fucked up films in your opinion?
His films are very well edited, and the sound design's great. I don't know what else more you could ask for, and the material is very original and fun. He films them in a way that is very much not the way that you would do, say, on some fucked up, you know, normal film set, which is a hierarchy and all of that. Mostly the hierarchy, that's gone in your film sessions, which is great. There's a sense of camaraderie and true collaboration, and the people that you involve yourself with seem to enjoy that. There's not a lot of fighters. There's a lot of give and there's very little take.
They're dangerous though. The films are dangerous, and I'm trying to make them a little bit less dangerous.
But in the end, the product's great though. I've seen him what they've come out with it, and it was simple, but it was fucking hilarious.
I have boundary issues.
But
Boundary issues, and I was trained method, more or less, as a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like, oh my God, I love you. Like, have you seen Birdcage?
I have.
So, like, you know, where he's like,
Birdcage or Birdman?
I'm sorry, have you seen Birdman?
You call it Birdcage.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, because I love them both.
I have.
Birdcage is great.
So
yeah.
Birdman, Hank Azaria's amazing. Birdman, there's a scene where he's like, "Did you switch my gin?" And he just won't do the scene anymore. He just like, stops. Like, if an actor is drinking liquor in a film that I make, they're probably drinking liquor. If they don't drink liquor, they probably will not be drinking liquor in the film.
You got to water it down like Paul Newman does in The Sting. Because if you're drinking gin, they can't tell if you cut it. Yeah, that's the line.
Dude, I almost died in front of a train like what's her name? Irene Cara does.
You're talking about the. Wait, you're not talking about the PA. What are you talking about? Okay, all right.
No. I was shooting a movie where my wife at the time, it's like, wouldn't it be a cool shot if you ran in front of the train? Wait, no, it's too dangerous. This is the perfect answer to your question.
I did that for my first feature film.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't do it. Yes, do it. Yes, do it. The train's coming. It's like, the lights going and shit. It's like, you should do it. No, don't do it. Should I answer the question? Should I do it? Like, yes. So I ran across the tracks, and then it's like, the train's coming. Like, I ran back. We captured. Are we rolling? Are we rolling? Are we rolling? Run across. Like, I almost got hit by it.
And I learned
that is horrible, man. You shouldn't do that.
No, the horrible part is the footage got stolen.
What? I had the cops called on me. I was doing this thing where I had a bunch of like puppetry done that I was going to put in post. It was actually a Dogma 95 film. You can break some stuff. You're not supposed to do stuff in post. Yeah. But you're allowed to admit your sins. So, but you can't credit yourself as a director and all that weird shit. So I was making it all handheld because that was one of the rules, I think. And so I ran in front of the train. But like, you realize later that you could have just put the tripod down. Or held it pretty steady, so it didn't look like it was a fake shot.
That's some young
train goes
shit
by,
in your
and
20s
you jump, and you put the two shots together. It works. But it was funny the day of when you were like, oh, I have to jump in front of a train now. Oh, that's why we're in front of the tracks. Okay, so I'm the director of photography of the day. So wait, what?
That's an extra production credit for sure.
I was wearing a bright lime green suit. We had a 1973 Eldorado Cadillac convertible, and I had a green grenade. And my character was talking to an imaginary raven. Anyways, the cops show up because they thought we were trying to commit suicide or something like that or whatever. But they're like, so you're not normal.
Kind of were.
Nice suit. And you always, when the cops show up in a movie, if you have good integrity about it, they always ask if they can be in it. And we always say it's a student film because they can't get mad at you because you're like, I'm a student.
Just learning. I'm just so cute and young.
I think you'll be getting away with that when you're 50.
If I can keep these charming looks, yeah, I'll be like,
it's a grad student film. You could be in a copper.
I'm a student, and they always ask to be in your film, and you say yes, and then they go, oh, we're kidding, and they get out of there like they've been like. Whenever cops show up on a film set, they happened on the last film, Marty.
It's good to just film cops all the
time.
Anyway.
And the cops showed up and they just watched everyone die, and they're like, okay, like, they didn't know what to do, and the actor's like dying on camera. The camera goes away. And he's like, I'm fine. Thumbs up. It was a thumbs up, actually. Yeah.
Because he knew his mark.
I didn't know the cops were there. I was so in character until I'm driving away, and I'm like, I give him a little wave. My character was an undercover cop, so we're just using all this shit.
Oh yeah, shoot it.
And it was great, man. It was great.
So, I just real briefly, because this is like not really a funny story, but like we're shooting this short called Greyhound Station. It kind of developed into a series, and it's my girlfriend and her daughter. Mm-hmm. And we just shot like the opening scene, and we're about to shoot across the street, and it's a dangerous street in Oakland. And I keep warning them, like I'm like, film me running across the street. I can get hit by a car. No one gives a fuck if I die, whatever. But like, you guys, you need each other and shit. And they're trying to shoot crossing the street, and they have all these ideas. Wouldn't it be great if you and the little girl run across the street with Dahlia? Or like, oh, we'll shoot this like crossing at the crosswalk. I'm like, look, we can shoot it, but this is this is real shit. Like, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck that we're making a movie. This is fucking Oakland.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, look, like follow the light, like look both ways and shit. I'll film you, like you cross. But I still had to fucking throw my body in the way of a car because the shit is real in the streets, man.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Let's call it. I think it's time to do the play. The show.
It.
Yeah,
okay.
we talked way longer than I thought we were.
Let's play the band.
Let's do it. Let's go to the band. I don't know.
I'm Geoff Crenshaw.
I'm Montetré.
Whatever you want, Geoff. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
What do you want?
What's your name?
Baraka Noel.
This is Heavy Set Go.
This is Heavy Set